am recording. Go ahead.
I was supposed to present the lessons learned from the story. And one of them is that greed for money ruins relationships, like how Peter and Chelsea and also Tim were very, they were waiting for a time for Winnie to die so that they can inherit all the money and the chain of malls. And also the ones close to you are the ones who betray you or hurt you most, as you can see Peter and Tim, and also Chelsea. Peter married Chelsea after, and Peter married Chelsea. Got married.
Just hold on. Repeat that point one more time. That kikulacho kingwani mwako, those close to you?
Yes. Are the ones who betray you or hurt you most.
By the way, I'm writing notes. Who betray or hurt you most, but go on.
Winnie suspected that for a long time Peter and Chelsea had something growing behind her back, and that's why they had most of their marital conflicts about. And although Chelsea tried to deny it, it was eventually true at the end of the story that we found out that Peter married Chelsea at the end. And also Tim and Peter split up the money they inherited from the projects, which were Winnie's projects. And also pretense and backstabbing is a vice in the story. We find that Peter pretends that he loves and he cherishes his wife, Winnie.
All right, take it a little bit slower. It is so sweet. It is so sweet. Just slow down a little bit. I hope some Kenyans here and Ugandans are also writing, and Sudanese taking down the notes. So just take it one more time. The reason why I'm taking you slow is these lessons is where questions are nowadays set. They will tell you, for money spoils relationship. Discuss the validity of this statement. Or they'll tell you, those who hurt you are the ones close to you. I hope you understand that. So it is the lessons, from the lessons where most of our exam questions are set. And so I want you to go slowly, not too slowly, just slowly enough for us to understand the words and to take down key points. So please take that number three again.
Pretense and backstabbing is a vice. There are vices in the story. Pretense and backstabbing are vices in the story. Yeah, this is where Peter and also Chelsea pretend to be good friends, and also Peter pretends to be a good husband to Winnie, but at the end he ends up splitting the money with Tim and also marries Chelsea.
And also, I think on the same point, the way they orchestrated her death, the way they orchestrated, I hope you get that word, orchestrate, vocabulary, her death, that also backstabbing. They made it look like she died.
She was the one who committed
herself. And let me ask, who is it who kept saying, check for her body under the bed? Was it?
It was Joe.
It was?
Joe Paulson.
Joe, yes. So look at the way they are behaving, and we are not told clearly, but you and I can deduce. We can deduce that they must have taken part in her death. All right,
yes. Go on. Okay, those are the three main lessons I got from there.
That is good. Anybody else who has a lesson maybe we've missed, please share.
And I also wanted to share that we see that Joe and also Meg act very suspicious, but at the end they're very innocent in the story. They don't have anything to do with Winnie's death.
Oh, Joe and Meg. Oh, and that brings out the style of suspense. You know, at the beginning, they make us feel like anybody could have murdered, but as we continue reading, we discover that actually Joe and Meg were innocent. A very good observation. Thanks a lot for that observation. So that the question or what we can learn is, don't be too quick to judge everybody. Find out information first. Don't be too quick to judge people. Find out information first. I can see Wendy Grace wants to say something.
No.
Hi, go on. Oh, who's speaking? Cindy, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
I can see your Nini blinking. That's why I thought you want to say something. Somebody wants to add a lesson that we learned?
Cha,
Yes, Sarakoze?
it's not a lesson, but when the sergeant was checking for clues, Chelsea was trying to misguide him by saying that Winnie might be under the bed. Yeah.
Oh, it's
so
Chelsea.
She's the one who suggested.
Oh, not Paulson. Thanks for that correction. And that is also very, very important. When we add it under the point on, those close to you are the ones who do what? Who hurt you or who betray you. Because nobody would have suspected that. And there's a question I'm wondering. No, though Meg was not responsible. So even when when Chelsea drank that part of that pombe, what is it called? It was not intentional. And I think it was brought out very, very clearly that she used to drink because she was under a lot of stress. Stress from family, again, add that to the point of those who stress you. She is drinking because of stress from family members and people who expect a lot of money from her. Please, if you're writing, taking down notes, add that. Cindy, I saw your hand up now for sure.
Yes, I have a question. And my question is, it's from the questions behind the story. Why is Simon chosen to be the narrator of the story?
Why is Simon chosen to be the narrator? I saw that question. I'll make an attempt and then kindly feel free. Look at the way Sumaya has given us over, I don't know, there are over 10 themes, and she was just trying. So never feel you are incapable. When you share, we are able to panel beat what you are saying and bring it into where it's supposed to be. So my take is, one, somebody wants to try before I go?
Sure.
Yes, go ahead.
So I guess Simon is the narrator because I guess, okay, I don't know who said that Simon is the most, he's the most best, like a good person, and he's not able to do all this. So I guess maybe for him, like, he's the most innocent and nobody can suspect that, okay, like, I guess he's the best person over this story. So that's why he's the he's the most
okay, good.
Maybe he's
Yes, so you are saying, in other words, that Simon there is no evidence in the text linking Simon to the murder. Okay, there is no evidence. So that then means that he has no bias. So pick the two words from what you have said, that there is no evidence linking Simon to the murder, number one. Number two, because of that, he is not biased. His perspective is not biased. Yes, Lasway?
I think he was okay. I want to add to what Sumaya has said, is that the author wanted us to see the story from Simon's perspective, or they wanted us to see the unfolding of the crime from Simon's perspective.
And so that the reason now goes further. Why from Simon's perspective? And I would also add, number one, when they say Simon is 60 years of age, don't ignore that. 60 years of age implies that he has some wisdom. And so you can even see as the story progresses, there are certain things he will not reveal. Look at when he wanted to give the sergeant some private information, he made sure that they had left the other people behind. So the author could have, the narrator or the author, yes, chose Simon as the narrator, and it seems like it's a first person because of his age, which brings in wisdom. And we tend to trust people who are wise. That is the interesting thing. We tend to trust those who are wise and the way he's been brought. Then the other thing is, there is an innocence that he has been given as probably the African who is there. He comes out, though old and wise, but he doesn't bring out craftiness. Whatever he does, for example, I can see the hands up, thank you, I'll point you, just keep them up. When the people are, when he's threatened, when he hears that they might poison Chelsea's food, what does he do? He quickly goes and tells the cooks that they are resigning. How is that important? That he is innocent and he doesn't have evil in him. That means the author would want us to believe that because he's not evil, then his story can be believed. His story can be believed. His story is what we call authentic. I hope you are picking that point. So don't ignore his age. And also don't ignore that Tim was 35, Tim was the youngest, and Tim is our first suspect. So don't ignore that. I can see Arakoze's hand up, Cindy and Laswey. So do I go for Arakoze first? Arakoze gone?
So, Cha, I think that he is the narrator because he understands everything. We see when Joe comes to ask for Winnie at his house, he knows immediately that Winnie is dead.
Very good. You are saying that he understands everything because he's observant. He's observant
and he's
perceptive and keen. If I put my hands, thumbs up for those who've contributed, I will just be saying your future is blessed. Now, what we are discussing, again, as you realize, is basically what you're asked in the exam. And then you are told to illustrate from the text. So he was very keen. And to add to your point, somebody wanted to say that you realize that he's mwenyeji. He's a what? He's from that place. The word has disappeared. He's from that area. Therefore, we are being given the perspective of original, a native. That's the word I'm looking for. We are being given the story from the perspective of a native who is observing modernity, who is observing keenly how everybody's behaving, who is able to judge wisely from his being a native. There were hands that they have gone down.
Cha.
Yes, go ahead.
He's also observant, and also he's also a native when he says that when the guard says that she never took anything, but he was drugged. He says maybe it's a gun that he's used to
shoot, So he had observed.
Yes.
And do you realize that his thoughts, because he was very observant, later in the text at the end, we actually discovered that that gun had been used and it was hidden under the pool. So this man, Simon, he helps develop the plot. His role is that he is the one who has been used to develop the plot systematically, so that by the time we see the gun in the pool towards the end, we realize Simon had told us that it would happen. He had preempted. He had foreshadowed. Okay, he brings out a lot of styles. And that leads me to wonder, is there somebody who was supposed to present on styles so that we just go ahead and maximize the time on styles? Or if the persons are not here, we can try on our own and see if we can get some styles, so that we start with probably somebody like Tim. Anybody wants to present on styles? If you're here, please feel free, share with us. If not, we will just go over it very, very quickly. We maximize on our timing.
Teacher, I was the one who was supposed to present, but I'm not ready yet.
Don't worry. Oh no, Lasway's battery is dying. There is no electricity. So we will be thrown out of this meeting anytime. May it die in the next few minutes. Wendy, say one or two that came across your mind. Just give us one or two.
Most of them that I got, I think you've already said them. Like foreshadowing, suspense, and also,
Okay, good. This dialogue. Did you see any dialogue in the book? Yes, Cindy?
So you said something about irony?
Yes, it's ironical that the one who was helping people are the ones who people gang against and they kill her. That is I find is ironical. The fact that she was helping the society, it happens in the society, but it's ironical. We don't expect those who are helping people to be attacked that way. But then the society turns against them. Now, before the battery goes off, may I ask, are we having another meeting? That will give us a way forward. Do we have another meeting tomorrow? Way forward, because it's only tomorrow we can meet. For a weekend, take time off. Or this is the last meeting?
We can have
one tomorrow.
Yes.
I hope I will test my machine so that we can have the longer ones. I think we should have, it's fun. Thank you, I love that. Okay, so based on that, we shall have it. Those who are able to join can join. And I also noticed in the timetable you are given, English was only Monday morning. So I wondered, when will we ever have English again? I'm just so glad you're able to join in. So we can have our final one tomorrow and do some little bit of revision as we finish off on this one. So Cindy, your hand is up.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question on the figures of style. At the pond, can you say it's ironical the way the stones bounce on water? In reality, a stone is supposed to sink in the water, not to bounce.
Not to bounce on water. But the interesting thing, I wish I could, it's that I'm not allowed. But if you're allowed, I'll demonstrate to you, because when we were young, we used to do it. If you could just go, well, I'd say that is a symbol, okay? Take it as a symbol, but you can do it. When we were young, we used to do it. You just make sure you bend at a very lower angle, and then you aim for the water. The stone can bounce as many times as you go low. So that bouncing on water is simply symbolic that the body of what's her name again? Chelsea? That was killed.
Winnie.
The body of Winnie came up on its own out of water. That is the symbol. That you can throw a stone. I do not know whether he had wanted that Winnie be found out. I'm not very sure how that is related, but it's something we can think about. But actually the body bounced out of water. You see the leg just released its, was it the leg that released itself from the stone that was tying it down and showed itself to the sergeant? And then
the toe.
The toe, it's the toe.
Yes.
Yes, it actually bounced. So that is where the title lies. That even if you throw something heavy on water, it will come out and you will be found out. Of course, the book leaves us in suspense. Moji saying something? Oh, I thought you were saying something. So that was a good question, Cindy, because you have actually led us to the title of the text and it's being symbolic. Okay. Anybody who can say something about Meg? Meg is the wife to Paulson Joe. Is she?
Yes.
Okay. Right. What can we say? Just a few things before that battery goes off. Yes, Cindy.
Creative.
I can say she's creative. Because she's taking alcohol behind her husband's back.
I like that. If he had known, what would he have done? That's just a question I'm wondering. What would he have done? If you and then the kind of alcohol she's taking was it Warangi? It's like,
yes, that Waragi.
Waragi. It's like Busa and Changa. She's married to a white man, but I don't know, can we say on that she's also traditional? She has not left her traditions in spite of the fact that she's married to a white man. Yes, last week.
She's okay. The Joe already knew that she was taking alcohol.
Oh,
yes.
But he suspected, eh?
No, he's in a part. He apologizes for his wife's wife's nanny because she was taking alcohol.
Great. That stands corrected.
No.
Eh?
No, okay. It was Winnie's husband who was apologizing.
It's Winnie's. So does Joe knew? No, I need to reread that again. I think I must have read it in a hurry. We need to clear anything that comes and we are discussing. I'm glad we can always counter check, find out what is right. But please note then that Joe is apologetic as a character trait. So we find a character trait. Yes?
I think Joe knew that Meg was taking alcohol because after the firecracker went off and Winnie took a sip of Meg's tea, Joe asked, no, he didn't ask, but he looked at Simon in a way that was asking if there was something he put in Meg's tea. So he knew about.
Yes, he knew. Okay, and then that makes the two of them secretive. The two of them then are secretive. Yes, Lasway, are we being
told? In page 149, it says here, that's not your cup. Just said, you sipped my wife's tea. It tastes funny because she puts alcohol in it.
He knows.
Yes.
He just knows. But they've never revealed this to everybody. And then what else would we say? He's observant. He is observant. When she's wondering why all this thing is tasting funny, he's the one who says, you took my wife's cup. In fact, she ended up sitting on his wife's seat, isn't it? And yes. he noticed that, so he's observant. So everything we say somehow tends to bring a character trait. Okay. What about, somebody wants to say? Any other character trait of anybody else? Please bring out. Even Simon. Simon, do we say he's faithful? A faithful, trustworthy cook. Yes, ma'am?
I wanted to say that Simon was wise, but we have already discussed.
Oh my, the babies are there. Don't apologize, just go on.
Okay, to the fact that, Simon wisdom, it's shown when throughout the story. At first, I guess, when you see throughout in the Cindy's the summary, you said that Simon decided to do the work, but the other cooks, they didn't want to leave because it's their source of earning. So from there, you could just say that he didn't want to put himself in a problem. So the best way to remove himself from a problem, he decided that to do the job so that he wasn't one of the taskers.
We have got the point. Thank you. Thank you. We know we are at home, so it's not your own fault that there's noise in the background. Very good, Simon. And Simon is also very perceptive. To perceive, like the moment when she saw who arrived, Peter arrived, she knew Winnie had been murdered. So that your ability to tell something, and it's not just out of nowhere, she was able to tell because she had seen the trend of how things were moving. Okay. This pre-meeting will end in 10 minutes. unless Laswey pays 14,000 Kenya shillings. Yes, Laswey?
Cha, can you also say he's very hardworking? Because the story, they say he worked for 20 years at Sheraton. That's why he had a good life, a TV, and also a bed.
Yes, the fact some people can work hard but end up with nothing. But at least he put something in place for himself. And then for 20 years means that he was also trustworthy. He was not fired. Yes, Maria?
Okay, there is this part that said on page 149, for those who may be having the book, it said, I watch TV for an hour before going to bed. My house belonged to the lucky few in the village with brick walls and iron sheet roofing, while most folks sleep on mats, cannot afford blankets and listen to croaking radios. I own an comfortable bed and a TV. On occasion like Christmas, scores of people come to watch my TV. Solar panel pinned to the roof provide the electricity. My children are educated, have good jobs, and can support me. Can that also bring out the theme of technology and also good parenting?
Very good. Please note that technology, good parenting, and on his own, when we go back to his own character trait, he's generous. Apart from being hardworking, he's generous. You'd allow people to come to watch the TV, and then to watch the TV. And then what Maria has brought out brings out poverty. I was actually looking for a place to support, to illustrate that poverty is affecting the people in the village. The rest are sleeping on mats, just like we see poverty in the book, The Pearl. Okay? Very good. Maria, your hand is still up.
No.
Oh, you've not put it down. We are all learning. Right. Somebody else wants to say something? Hodo, today you've been very quiet. Joy Wanjama, we long to hear your voice. What about somebody we may know? Huh? Yes, who is speaking?
I didn't understand. I didn't understand this part when, the person where they had thrown a party, then they made their stand and the stand give a day before. So I couldn't understand this part, like what seriously was it talking about?
Where they had thrown a party. Can you read it?
The person had thrown a party.
A party the previous day. Is it the place where they have thrown a party the previous day? Well, they were celebrating these people who are what? The African honeymoon. Of course, the beginning of all that is just about the party and celebrating the honeymoon.
Potter,
yes.
The potter normally removes every crumb of cake off the lawn after a Paulson's party. This time round, he actually missed a firecracker bigger than his feet. The device to set it off, it failed to explode at the party, but remembered it was to entertain guests and went off a day too late.
It failed to explode at the party. Meaning that, first of all, the fact that this what is it called, firecracker is there and it was missed, helps me, or makes me think that it was part of the plan. And remember, Winnie said it had been left there to kill her. So it was actually part of the plan. It should not have been there. It should have been cracked and everybody should have seen how it is normally handled. But the presence of the firecracker is part of what leads us to think that the idea was to murder Winnie. And the firecracker could have not been put by the Africans there. It must have been put by one of the visitors. So this time round, he suspiciously missed a firecracker bigger than his fist. I have a feeling after he had cleaned the entire place, they want to blame him. After he had cleaned that particular place, somebody came and placed that device there so that it could explode. It could explode, but probably at the party, it could not explode. Why? Because it would have killed many people if it exploded down there. That would be my take. Yes, Laswey?
Cha, even when Simon says that they already sent the children away from the house because they didn't want to witness the murder.
Yes, yes. Look at that. So if you read at the book, you will see that this murder was planned. And Winnie was not wrong. Though at first when we read, it looks like she's just making a lot of noise. She's just, you get irritated before you get the other part of the book, like, why can't he just enjoy the presence here? You realize that they actually came to murder her in a place probably far away from home. And this story, we have 4 minutes remaining. This story reminds me of the number of murders that used to take place in Kenya. If you go back to history, you will actually find that there was a lady whose father really pursued her murder case that happened at the Masai, is it the Masai Mara? If you can remember, I'm forgetting her name. The father continued and continued. At some point, they said it's a lion or an animal that mauled her. And they really gave many excuses. And quite a number of people who have come to Africa and died, especially white people, mysteriously. And most times, they are pointing at the people who, the game rangers. And look at this story, that in fact, a game ranger came and brought that gun, if it is brought out well. But this story probably opens our eyes that we should not suspect the murderers to be from the natives most times. These things are probably planned from outside before they arrive in the country where that happens. I think for me, that is one of the lessons that I pick. And probably that was the bigger idea that Dil Mandela had. Because when she or he was writing this, Dil Mandela, is that a lady or a man, was writing this story, I don't think they were writing it for the sake of for it to be a set book just as such. They were writing it so that we could learn something from it. Okay, this is born in Tororo, Uganda, 1997. So thanks for that good observation. We have 2 more minutes to go. So what I will request as we prepare then for our last meeting, oh, he's a man, thank you for that. As we prepare for our meeting tomorrow, those who are prepared to give, please give what we've left out, especially on the character traits. It would be very nice to have a few more, and that should take us at least 10 minutes. Then after those 10 minutes, it is still my hope that I can share something on paper 1, especially on etiquette and on etiquette. Okay, our meeting is ending in the next 2 minutes. Yes, Lasway?
Should we still create the same meeting, or we can make it tomorrow?
Just create one tentatively, but don't send as yet. Keep it in your WhatsApp. But then, do people know how to create a WhatsApp group for yourself? Do you have an idea how you can create a WhatsApp group for yourself alone? No.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Some do, some don't.
No.
Now, what happens is this.
Tell me, I know.
You know, tell us so that others can create. Oh, tell us. Okay, you talk to one of the people in this group, then you make a group. You make a group for everybody, but warn them so that they don't wonder what you're doing. Tell them I want to create a group. So you create a group and you put, of course, you are there automatically. Then you add 1 more person. Once the group is created, remove that 1 person. That groups remain for you, remains yours. And you can indicate my group. So I love using such a group because it helps me put things that I need to check later. When I find something in a group and I want to keep it to check later, I send it to that group. We have less than 1 minute. I want to appreciate all of you who have come in today. I think we had about 13 of us, and you've done a good job, and you behaved so maturely in the meetings. Yes, thumbs up to Form 4S. I'm already missing you. Can't wait to see you, God willing, next week. Stay safe. See you tomorrow, and God bless you thoroughly.
Okay.
Sawa sawa. Bye. You can now say bye because it's ending. Bye. Bye, Samaya. Bye, Lasway.
Bye.
Bye. Joy can't even say bye. Aki Joy.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Cindy. Bye, Maggie.
Bye, Lasway.
Bye. Bye, Wendy. I'm still waiting for you. Bye, Hodo.
Bye, Ray Ray.